Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through a game in the just completed round 7 of the US Chess Championship. When I saw this game, it reminded me of nightmares I have had in positions like this. I have had crazy positions with white where my opponent attacks me with pawns. It almost looks like my opponent doesn't know what they're doing, but at the same time, I know I am squeezed. I'm getting crushed. This is a master class in pawn push, essentially. And of course, it's between none other than Fabiano Caruana and Hans Niemann. Fabiano Caruana has been a multiple-time US champion, I think 3-time US chess champion, and he contended for the World Championship against Magnus Carlsen and held him to 12 classical draws, if I remember correctly. So, an incredible game. Both of them have been playing fantastic chess in this tournament. Today was just exceptional. Let's jump right in without wasting any much time. Hans Niemann with the white pieces opens with e4. Fabi goes e5, knight f3, knight c6. Now, this looks like your regular position. The Italian is on the board. We've seen many moves in the Italian played in this position. Fabi plays d6. Again, nothing new. c3, gioco piano, and Fabi goes f4. Now, whenever I see somebody play f4 in a position like this, it reminds me of Prague. I think it was Prague Nananda that played f4 in one of his games in the candidates, the last candidates. I can't remember exactly who he played it against or the position. But in one of those games, in a position similar to this, if I'm not mistaken, Prague Nananda played f4. And I think he went on to win that game. I actually like to go and look at it and make sure. But Fabi goes f4 here. Hans plays d3, carrying on like normal. Queen f6. Okay, it looks like, why are you not developing your pieces, right? Look at this bishop, look at this rook. Looks like Fabi should try to develop his pieces, but no. He plays that, and Hans Niemann castled in this position. Now I want to show you something. This is I guess we can call it the first serious inaccuracy of the game. If I was in this position, given everything that has happened to me in chess, in a position like this one, I am taking that pawn. I don't want to see that pawn come to f3, constrict this bishop for the rest of the game. I know what my opponent wants to do to me. But GM Hans Niemann, of course, they know better than all of us, castles in this position. When I watched this game, I was like, oh, okay. It doesn't look that bad, but it looks bad, right? And Fabi immediately goes f4, and you see that is a great move right there. Shutting down this bishop, preparing a kingside attack. So what do you do when you face a kingside attack? When your opponent attacks you on one side, you go for the other side. So Hans Niemann goes b4 here, and we are going to have something that looks like a race. a4. The position is not as bad yet, but it is becoming bad. Look at this pawn. Hans goes first, he goes b5, and the knight goes back to d8. This looks like preparation. If you look at Fabiano's time, Fabi is still up an hour on the clock. Hans has come down below 1 hour, but he's not in time trouble. And then Hans decides to strike in the center. Great. When your opponent is attacking you on the flank, go for the middle. But it's already kind of slow. Fabi goes g4 here. Knight goes back to e1. Oh my God. You guys, have you had opponents that play against you like this? I can tell you, I have had opponents that play chess like this. They just push all their pawns coming. And you can see, look at these pieces. Look at these pieces. And Fabi's pieces are also back there. But look at these pawns. There is no space for white in this position. Hans decides to develop the knight. Fabi develops his knight, and Hans plays this move, b6. And believe it or not, what do you think the evaluation of this position is? What do you think? Who is better here? Do you think black is better? Do you think white is better? Who would you rather be in this position? Believe it or not, this position is completely equal. Now, if I was playing and I have something like this in front of my king, I would not think for a second that this would be an equal position. And you know what is interesting? If you take this pawn, or take this pawn, either way, either you capture like this, or you capture like that. If you take that pawn, then well, the knight comes in here, and white is completely winning now. So, anyhow, Fabi captures this pawn, it looks like a free pawn. Immediately you capture that pawn, you're dead. So Fabi plays the correct move. He does not capture the pawn. He goes c6 and stops this knight from coming into the position. Hans retreats the bishop, making sure that he wants to make sure that that knight lands on c4 no matter what, because then how are you guarding that pawn, right? And Fabi moves his knight out of the way. The knight is coming in here. Hans decides to, okay, develop your knight, do something, and look at all these pieces, you guys. Look at all these pieces coming to the king side. Hans brings his knight into the position as well. But now, black is actually completely winning here. What will you play in this position? The computer is saying just go a6. Go a6 and close up this queen side, this whole queen side, and there's nothing more that can happen, right? If Fabi plays a6 here, there's nothing you can do. You don't have an attack. You are not doing anything with these knights. You can take, but that pawn is well guarded. And now it is you that is going to get cooked, right? Okay, but Fabi didn't do that. Fabi just brings his bishop out, gives Hans sort of a chance to come back into the game. Hans does not take it though. Hans goes bishop a3 here, and in fact the position is getting worse and worse as you proceed. Fabi chops up that knight, one of the main attackers. If you notice, that pawn was attacked twice, right? So Fabi took the knight, removed one of the attackers. You recapture, and now you can't really capture that pawn. And Fabi continues with his attack. Pawn to f3, great move. Well, you can't take. If you take that, then you are just a lunatic, right? Because first of all, he can take with the knight, he can take with the queen, he can trade queens here, and there's nothing white can do. There's nothing you can do. You go king h1, and then the knight is already coming to d2. Oh, there's that to fuck the rook and the bishops. But even if he doesn't even go for material, this is lost essentially. But none of that happened in the game. Fabi goes here, and Hans tries to close it up with g3, but it's not enough. Fabi goes h4 in this position. You guys, look at this. Look at this position. Hans goes queen c2. I think at this point Hans knew that the game was pretty much over. Fabi takes. Now that move, he didn't need to play that move, right? He could have just opened up the position. He could have anything he plays here is just good for him. But Fabi takes. Hans brings the other rook. Fabi brings his rook. Once again, he doesn't have to even bring the rook. Anything is winning. d5 is winning. He can bring rook d8. I think that's the second move recommended by the engine actually. So Fabi is still playing precisely here. And I would not be patient. I'm going open. I'm bringing this knight somewhere, bringing my queen here. You will be dead. Is the only thing here. So, but Fabi goes rook d8. And Hans goes d5. I don't know what d5 does. I'm not sure. Maybe takes. I don't know. Or maybe he was preventing Fabi from playing d5 himself. Perhaps that is the real explanation. And Fabi goes here. Oh my gosh. He's going to double up the rooks on this file. Takes, and there you have it. Takes, you're getting mated here. There's no way to stop it. Hans chops off one of the attackers, but it doesn't matter. The knight was not necessary. Fabi takes, Hans goes there. Fabi just opens up the position. Because right now, in this position, right, it doesn't matter. You're looking at that, but that square is covered, so that does nothing. So Fabi ignores it and takes the pawn on g3. Okay, h takes g3, queen takes b2, but this is just doing anything. Anything here wins. You can play rook takes h2, that would be winning. You can literally put your queen anywhere on this file, threaten checkmate, that would also be winning. Fabi goes queen h4 here, and next move is going to be checkmate. You can give a few checks. Hans gives a check, king here, and in this position, Hans-Moke Niemann resigned the game because there's really nothing you can do. If you give another check, the king is just going to move up here. And what are you going to do? You can't take that pawn. Your queen is under attack. You can't even, if you sack the queen for a rook, okay, you just delay checkmate by one move. And then, actually, yeah, he's going to have to capture. And then the mate is still coming. You can't even take like that because that's mate. It's just a dead loss position. And that's why with this, no, oh, that's my move now. That's not the move. Check, and the king comes up here, and Hans, of course, knows that there's nothing more he can do here. And here on move 28, Hans Niemann Razor is this game. So in less than 30 moves, essentially, this is like a miniature game. You can memorize this game. This is one of those games that after studying them, you actually memorize them and you just know the moves by heart and know what the plans are in the position. It's an incredible game. I would like to study this game, especially as I have my own tournaments coming up. It may be helpful for me. Who knows? But let me know if you enjoyed this game. Let me know if there's something you want to see. We are coming back to covering games, you guys. I'm going to be looking for my favorite games. Yesterday there was a spectacular game between Fabiano and Wesley. Unfortunately, somehow Fabi messed it up and that game ended in a draw. So I was like, oh, that was a bummer. I would have done a review of that game. But let me know if there are any games you would like to see, you guys. We are going to cover it. We are going to discuss them, especially games in your favorite openings. For now, I'm trying to get into the E4, E5s. So I would like to see a lot of games in this opening, both from the white and the black side. But of course, if I see them play a Nimzolasin at any point, which will probably never happen, I will also make sure to cover that game. Until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Who do you think is going to win the US Championship? Fabiano Caruana is currently in the lead. Do you think Hans is going to be able to catch up? Personally, I don't think so. Maybe Fabi is going to win again and become the 4-time US chess champion. Let me know what you think in the comments, you guys, and I'll catch you soon. If you have games you want me to review, let me know in the comment section, or you can send them in the Discord. Use the hashtag suggestion. I'll look at them and we'll review those games together. Bye bye.